Captain Elara Winters looked out from the small window of her spaceship. Below her stretched the strange, colorful land of Genkai. This was a planet no human had ever stepped on before. The bright blue skies, mixed with purple clouds, made the world look like a dream. But Elara knew better. This was a dangerous place. The air was thin and strange gases floated around. The planet was home to a powerful alien empire led by the mysterious alien queen, Solara. Elara felt a mix of fear and excitement. She was the first human to meet the aliens in person. Her mission was important: to bring a message of peace from Earth and try to build friendship with the alien race. Humans needed allies in the stars. Wars and problems on Earth made exploring new worlds more urgent. Elara had trained her whole life for this moment. The spaceship's landing gears touched the ground softly. The rocky soil shook beneath her feet as the ship came to a stop. Elara took a deep breath. She put on her protective suit, adjusted her helmet, and stepped out into the alien air. The suit's sensors immediately started analyzing the environment. It was harsh, but breathable for a short time. Strange sounds filled the air. Alien birds with bright feathers flew by, and giant trees with glowing leaves towered around her. The ground felt alive under her boots. As she walked, she saw signs of life. Small creatures hiding in bushes, strange plants moving slowly. This was no empty world. Suddenly, Elara noticed a group of tall figures watching her from a distance. They wore sleek armor that shimmered like liquid metal. Their eyes glowed softly in the twilight. These were the alien soldiers, the guards of the alien queen. They did not speak, but their presence was strong and serious. Elara stopped walking and raised her hands to show she meant no harm. A clear, calm voice spoke from behind the soldiers. "You have courage, human, to come here alone." Elara turned and saw a woman approaching. She walked with grace and power. Her skin was pale blue, and her eyes shone like stars. She wore a crown that looked alive, made of thin light strands. This was Queen Solara, ruler of Genkai and the alien empire. Elara felt her heart beat faster. She had read many stories about this queen. No one had ever met her face to face. The queen's reputation was that of a strong and wise leader, but also mysterious and hard to read. "I am Captain Elara Winters," she said, keeping her voice steady. "I come as a friend from Earth." The queen smiled slightly, but her eyes studied Elara carefully. "Then let us see if your actions speak as loudly as your words." With that, the queen motioned to the soldiers. "Bring her to the court." Elara followed, knowing this was only the beginning. The moment of contact had arrived. The fate of two worlds was about to change. Elara walked carefully behind the tall alien soldiers. Their armor made soft sounds with each step. The path led through giant trees that seemed to glow faintly in the dark. Strange flowers bloomed everywhere, shining like small stars. The air smelled fresh but strange, like a mix of metal and flowers. The palace of Queen Solara was ahead. It was huge and shining, made of glass and metal that reflected the colors of the sky. Elara had never seen anything like it. The building looked alive, with shapes moving slowly as if it breathed. The soldiers stopped at a large door. It opened silently, and Elara stepped inside. The room was bigger than any she had seen on Earth. Walls curved up high, covered with glowing symbols and paintings. Alien music filled the air, soft and strange but beautiful. Elara noticed many aliens watching her. They looked different from the soldiers. Their skin came in many colors: green, purple, silver, and their eyes were wide and curious. Some whispered quietly, pointing at her. It was clear they had never seen a human before. Suddenly, a voice spoke from the front of the room. "Welcome, Captain Elara Winters." It was Queen Solara's voice. Elara turned to see the queen sitting on a throne made of shining crystal. The queen's blue skin seemed to glow softly under the lights. Her eyes held a mixture of power and calm. "Your reputation came before you," the queen said. "Many in my court were afraid of what you might bring: war, fear, or lies. But you have arrived with open hands. Ilara bowed respectfully. I come to offer friendship and knowledge, Your Majesty. Earth wishes to learn from your people and share what we know. The queen looked thoughtful. Peace is not easy to find, even among our own, but courage to seek it is rare. A courtier stepped forward, a tall alien with silver skin and many eyes. Your arrival is a mystery to us. Why would a human cross the stars alone to meet us? Ilara smiled gently. Because humanity has faced many dangers and grown stronger. We believe strength comes from understanding, not fear. The queen stood slowly and walked closer. Her gaze softened as she looked at Ilara. You remind me of someone. Long ago. Ilara felt a strange feeling in her chest, like a quiet warmth. Who is that, Your Majesty? The queen did not answer right away. Instead, she turned and spoke to the court. Let us give Captain Winters time to rest and learn our ways. Tomorrow, she will meet with my advisors. Ilara nodded. She was led to a room where soft light and calm music waited. She sat down and looked out the window. The alien stars shone bright, and she wondered what stories this planet held. As she rested, Ilara felt the weight of her mission more deeply. This meeting was not just about peace. Something hidden connected her to the queen and this strange world. She would discover it soon. The next morning, Ilara woke early. Her room in the palace was bright with soft sunlight from the glowing windows. The walls were smooth and cool to touch, and strange plants floated in small glass containers nearby. It was beautiful, but still very different from home. Ilara dressed quickly and waited for her guide. Soon, a small, friendly alien appeared. His skin was light green, and his eyes sparkled with kindness. I am Tarek, one of the queen's advisors, he said in gentle English. He led Ilara through long halls filled with more glowing symbols and strange statues. The queen wishes to meet you again. She is curious about you. They entered a room where Queen Silura waited. She sat quietly, her eyes deep and thoughtful. Captain Winters, the queen began, there is something about you that feels familiar. I have seen you before, but I cannot remember when or where. Ilara felt a chill. She thought hard but could not imagine meeting the queen before. I do not know, Your Majesty. This is my first time here. Silura smiled softly. Perhaps it is something more than a meeting. Something from the past. The queen stood and walked to a strange machine in the corner of the room. It looked like a glowing circle with many lights. This is a memory device. It can show shared moments from the past. Ilara was curious but cautious. The queen motioned for her to step closer. If you agree, we can see a moment that connects us. Ilara nodded. The queen touched the machine, and a soft light surrounded them. Suddenly, images and sounds filled the room. Ilara saw a young girl with blue skin running through a forest of giant trees. The girl looked scared but brave. Then, Ilara saw a spaceship crashing nearby. Smoke rose into the sky. The girl ran toward the ship. She reached it just as a young human woman climbed out, injured but strong. The woman helped the girl, calming her fears. Together, they looked at the strange world around them. Ilara realized the young woman was herself. The girl was a young Silura. The memory faded. Ilara blinked, surprised. That was me. And you. I didn't know. Silura's voice was soft. You were my hero when I was a child. Your courage saved me and many others when your ship crashed here long ago. Ilara felt a new respect for the queen. This connection was deeper than she thought. Why didn't you tell me before? The queen looked away for a moment. It was a secret I kept hidden. Our worlds were not ready for friendship then. But now, I see that the past and the future are linked by this moment. Ilara smiled. Then maybe this is the beginning of something new. Silura nodded. Yes. And together, we will build a future where humans and aliens stand side by side. Ilara felt hope and strength rise inside her. This was more than a mission. It was a chance to change the stars forever. After the memory sharing, the palace felt different to Ilara. It was no longer just a place of strange and powerful beings. It was a place with a story. Her story. And the queen's. Ilara spent the day learning about Genkai and its people. The queen's advisors showed her ancient books and holograms about the planet's history. She saw how Silura had grown from a frightened child into a strong leader. The queen's people admired her for her wisdom and courage. But Ilara's mind kept returning to the memory. The small girl's wide eyes, the fear and hope mixed in them. She had seen that look in many children on Earth too. The connection felt deep and real. That evening, the queen invited Ilara to walk with her through the palace gardens. The gardens were unlike anything Ilara had seen. Giant flowers glowed softly, and streams of clear water sang gentle songs. The air smelled sweet, filled with light and life. Silura spoke quietly. That moment when I saw you, it gave me hope. I was a child in a world full of danger, unsure if I could ever be strong. Ilara listened. Your courage now is clear, but it must have been hard. The queen nodded. Very hard, but knowing someone like you was out there, someone brave enough to face the unknown, changed everything. They walked in silence for a while. Then Ilara asked, Did you ever try to find me before? Silura smiled sadly. I tried, but your people were far away, and time passed. I had to become queen and protect my people first. Now, our worlds have come closer. Ilara felt honored. I never imagined my past would be part of something so big. The queen stopped beside a glowing tree. Its branches shimmered like stars. Our meeting is not just chance. It is destiny. Together, we can change what was once impossible. Ilara touched the tree's smooth bark. I want to help, to learn, to share, to build. Silura's eyes shone with a new light. Then you will face challenges, Captain. Not all will welcome this friendship. Ilara smiled. I am ready. Humans have faced hard battles before. We grow stronger every time. The queen looked at her with respect. Good, because the future of Genkai and Earth depends on it. As night fell, Ilara stood beneath the glowing stars of Genkai. She felt a powerful bond growing, not only between herself and the queen, but between two worlds. The echoes of childhood had brought them together, but their story was just beginning. The morning sun glowed softly over the palace of Genkai. Captain Ilara Winters stood at the entrance of a large stone arena. The air buzzed with quiet excitement. Today, she would face the alien rite of passage, a test all who wished to earn the trust of the alien queen must pass. Ilara looked around. The arena was surrounded by thousands of glowing plants and tall trees that stretched toward the sky. Alien spectators gathered quietly, their many eyes focused on her. Some whispered, others watched in silence. Queen Silura appeared at the top of the arena steps. Her calm face looked serious but kind. This test will show your courage, wisdom, and heart, she said. It is not about strength alone. Many have failed because they forgot what matters most. Ilara nodded. She was ready. The test began with a challenge of intelligence. Strange puzzles appeared on glowing screens around the arena. Ilara's mind worked quickly, solving riddles about alien history and science. She remembered her training and kept calm. The crowd watched, impressed. Next came a test of bravery. The ground beneath her opened, revealing a narrow path over a deep chasm. The path was made of thin beams of light, glowing but flickering. Ilara took a deep breath and stepped forward, balancing carefully. Her heart pounded, but she did not look down. Halfway across, the beams flickered wildly. Ilara's foot slipped, but she caught herself just in time. The crowd gasped quietly. She smiled to herself and moved forward, step by step, until she reached the other side. Finally, the test of compassion began. A small alien creature appeared, injured and scared. Its eyes were wide with pain. Ilara knelt and gently examined it. The creature tried to move away, but Ilara spoke softly, calming it. She used her medical kit to heal the creature's wounds. The crowd watched in silence. Then a low murmur of approval spread. Even Queen Silura's face softened with a proud smile. When the test ended, the queen stood and approached Ilara. "You have shown what it means to be brave, not just in battle, but in heart and mind. You have passed the rite of passage." Ilara felt relief and joy. This moment was more than a test. It was proof that humans and aliens could understand each other. The queen raised her hand. "Captain Winters, you are now an honored guest and a trusted friend of Genkai." The crowd cheered softly, and Ilara bowed humbly. As she left the arena, Ilara felt stronger. This test had not only challenged her body and mind, but also her spirit. She knew many hard days were coming, but now she was ready to face them, with courage, wisdom, and heart. The calm after the test did not last long. Just as the sun began to set over Genkai, alarms rang through the palace. Ilara was in the queen's chamber when the warning sounded. A rival alien faction was attacking. The enemy was known as the Vraxians, fierce warriors who wanted to control Genkai's resources. They had no interest in peace. Their ships darkened the skies, casting shadows over the glowing trees. Queen Silura's calm face turned serious. "We must defend our home," she said. "Ilara, your knowledge of Earth's tactics will help us." Ilara nodded quickly. "I've studied many battle strategies. Let me help organize the defense." In the command room, Ilara stood before a large holographic map. The palace guards were tense but ready. Ilara pointed to the weak points. "If we use the forest to our advantage, we can set traps and slow their advance." The alien soldiers listened carefully. Ilara's ideas were different but made sense. She taught them how to create hidden ambushes and use quick hit-and-run tactics, strategies common in human warfare but new to the aliens. As the Vraxian ships landed, Ilara led a group of soldiers through the thick forest. The trees glowed, but shadows hid dangers. The Vraxians marched forward, confident and strong. Suddenly, traps sprung. Nets made from glowing vines caught many enemies. Hidden energy blasts stunned others. The Vraxians were surprised by the humans' strange tactics and the queen's soldiers' teamwork. Ilara moved quickly, shouting orders. "Divide their forces, push them toward the cliffs." The battle was fierce. Explosions lit the forest. Alien warriors clashed with the enemy in bursts of light and sound. Despite being outnumbered, the defenders held strong. The queen's trust in Ilara grew as the humans' courage inspired the soldiers. After hours of fighting, the Vraxians began to retreat. Their ships lifted off in defeat, leaving the forest quiet once more. Ilara wiped sweat from her brow. She looked around at the tired but victorious soldiers. Queen Silura approached her. "You have proven your worth in battle, as well as in peace. Your courage gave us hope." Ilara smiled, feeling proud but humble. "This victory is ours, together." The queen nodded. "Together, we are stronger." That night, the palace was alive with quiet celebration. But Ilara knew the war was far from over. The Vraxians would return, and there were other dangers waiting in the stars. Still, for the first time, humans and aliens stood side by side, united against the darkness. The palace was quiet the morning after the battle. The air still smelled of smoke and victory. Captain Ilara Winters sat in a small garden near the queen's chambers. The glowing flowers around her seemed to pulse softly in the light. Queen Silura approached slowly, her blue skin shimmering in the morning sun. She sat beside Ilara, her eyes thoughtful and deep. "Ilara," the queen began, "there is something I must tell you, something I have kept hidden for many years." Ilara looked up, curious and a little nervous. "What is it, Your Majesty?" Silura took a deep breath. "When I was a child, I was afraid of the wars that surrounded us and the enemies who wanted to destroy my people. But I was not alone. I had a secret hope, A hero. Ilara listened closely, her heart beating faster. That hero, the queen continued, was you. You were the brave human who crash-landed on Gen-K so long ago. I saw your courage, your strength, and your kindness. You saved me and many others when no one else could. Ilara's eyes widened. I didn't know. I thought I was just surviving. Silara smiled gently. No, you were much more. Your actions inspired me to become strong, to fight for my people, and to become their queen. Ilara felt a warmth inside, a mix of pride and humility. Why did you keep this a secret? The queen's face darkened slightly. Because back then, our worlds were enemies, and trust was impossible. I had to protect my people and my throne. She looked at Ilara with new respect. Now with you here, I see a chance for a new beginning. A chance to build peace where there was once fear. Ilara nodded. I want to help, Queen Silara. Together, we can change the future. The queen reached out and took Ilara's hand in hers. Your courage shaped my past and will guide our future. At that moment, the bond between them felt stronger than ever. The alien queen and her childhood hero were united not just by history, but by hope. As the sun rose higher, they stood together, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The past had brought them together. Now the future awaited. The days after the queen's confession were filled with hope and new plans. Captain Ilara Winters and Queen Silara worked closely together. They'd wanted to build bridges between Earth and Gen-K, two very different worlds with one future. Ilara visited the palace's great library. She studied Gen-K's technology and history, fascinated by how much the alien civilization had grown. She saw how the aliens used clean energy and advanced medicine. Ilara took notes, thinking of how humans and aliens could learn from each other. Silara showed Ilara the council chambers. This is where our leaders meet, she said. We must share our plans carefully. Not everyone will agree with peace. Ilara nodded. On Earth, it's the same, but we believe in trying. Together, they invited scientists and diplomats from both worlds to meet. The first meetings were strange and awkward. The aliens spoke in soft, melodic tones, while humans were loud and quick. They did not always understand each other. But slowly, trust grew. They shared stories, inventions, and dreams. Ilara demonstrated Earth's communication tools, and the aliens showed their holographic technology. Both sides marveled at the possibilities. One evening, Ilara and Silara stood on a balcony overlooking the city. Lights sparkled below, a mix of alien colors and shapes. Building bridges is harder than I thought, Ilara said honestly, but it's worth it. Silara smiled. Trust takes time, but you have already changed my people's hearts. Ilara felt a strong bond with the queen. Their childhood connection was now a foundation for peace. Together, they dreamed of exploring the stars side by side. Suddenly, a message arrived from the palace guards. A new threat had been detected on the edges of their space, a dark force moving closer. Silara's face grew serious. Our work is just beginning. The universe is full of dangers, but also hope. Ilara nodded. We will face it together. The two leaders stood united, ready to protect their worlds and build a future where humans and aliens could walk as friends, not enemies. The stars above Gen-Kai twinkled quietly, but deep in space, a shadow moved. It was an ancient force, long forgotten by most civilizations. This dark power was now waking, threatening not just Gen-Kai, but Earth and many other worlds. Captain Ilara Winters and Queen Silara stood together in the palace's command room. A large holographic map showed the dark shape creeping closer to their home. This is unlike any enemy we have faced, Ilara said. It is not just a battle of ships or soldiers. This is a test of everything we believe in. Silara nodded. Our people must unite. Earth and Gen-Kai must stand as one. Ilara looked around the room. Humans and aliens worked side by side, planning their defense. Ships from Earth and Genkai moved in formation, ready to face the unknown. The dark force moved fast. It was a swirling mass of energy and strange creatures, attacking without mercy. Many worlds had fallen before it. Ilara and Silura led the combined fleet. Their ships cut through the darkness, their weapons shining bright. The battle was fierce. Ships exploded, and space was filled with flashes of light. The dark force adapted quickly, but the humans and aliens used teamwork and new tactics. Ilara remembered her training and the Queen's wisdom. Together, they coordinated the attack. "Focus on their center," she shouted. "Use the energy shields to protect our weaker ships." Silura's voice came over the comms. "Hold the line. Protect the fleet." Hours passed like minutes. Slowly, the dark force began to weaken. The combined power of humans and aliens pushed it back. Finally, the dark shape broke apart, retreating into the blackness of space. The fleet cheered. Ilara and Silura shared a look of relief and pride. "We have faced the darkness," the Queen said, "and we have won, because we stood together." Ilara smiled. "This is only the beginning. Together, we will protect the stars." The battle had ended, but the palace was filled with a new kind of energy, hope and promise. Captain Ilara Winters stood in the Grand Hall, surrounded by both human and alien leaders. The air was alive with quiet excitement. Queen Silura walked forward, her eyes shining brighter than ever. She raised her hand, calling for silence. "Today," she said, "we celebrate not just a victory over darkness, but the unity of our worlds. A future built on courage, friendship, and trust." All eyes turned to Ilara. The Queen stepped closer, her voice full of warmth. "Captain Ilara Winters, you are not just an explorer or a soldier. You are the hero who saved my people when I was a child. You are the human who showed us the meaning of bravery and hope." Ilara felt a rush of emotion. She remembered the young blue-skinned girl she once saw in a shared memory, the frightened child who had looked up to her. Now that child was a queen standing before her, honoring her courage. Silura continued, "Your actions changed the fate of Genkai and Earth. Today, I recognize you as a true friend, a leader, and a hero." The crowd erupted in applause, a mix of cheers and respectful silence. Humans and aliens alike stood and clapped. Ilara bowed deeply. "Thank you, Your Majesty. It is an honor beyond words. But this victory belongs to all of us, humans and aliens, working together." The Queen smiled. "Yes, together." Later, as the celebration continued, Ilara and Silura stood side by side on a balcony overlooking the city. The lights of Genkai glowed like stars, a symbol of the new alliance. Ilara looked at the Queen. "I never imagined our meeting would lead to this moment." Silura nodded. "Neither did I. But fate has a way of bringing people together when they are needed most." They watched the twin moons rise over the horizon, feeling the weight of history and the hope of the future. Ilara knew the journey ahead would not be easy. There would be challenges, threats, and hard decisions. But with the Queen's friendship and the strength of two worlds united, she felt ready. The moment when the alien Queen finally recognized her childhood hero was not just a point in time. It was the start of a new era, a time when humanity and the stars would shine brighter together.